what do you think your definition of multidisciplinary education or research versus interdisciplinary?
Yeah, so I think this is it's a very important question. It's also one that you could spend a lot of time talking about and not really getting anywhere. This is what I think happens a lot in our dialogues. I think what you see is when you talk about multidisciplinarity is you're marrying different traditions, different disciplines together. Yeah? That's important. What is interdisciplinary is again, the definitions that I have come across have varied quite a bit. What I try to think about in terms of thinking about students is, and we're thinking about sort of the T-shaped professional. You've heard of that, the pie-shaped professional. What do you want is a certain level of depth in a particular area, and whether it's in your field, which is mechanics, fluid mechanics, or if it's in some kind of traditional disciplinary area, that's okay. That gives you the depth. But what you also need is sufficient, I think, breadth and sufficient openness to the other areas, saying, hey, look, how can I apply my knowledge, where I have deep domain knowledge, to a problem that may be coming from a different area. Yeah. So for me, I don't really think so much about whether I myself or an individual is multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary. I just sort of think about, okay, what are the things that you're trying to get for a student? What do you need to know? And what do you need to be able to do? So there's a question of knowledge, and there's also a question of skills. Yeah? And so those are the things that we are trying to combine and trying to sort of develop. I think one of the questions that you were asking was, how do you make sure that you're not jack of all trades and master of none?
Correct.
Yeah. That's a pitfall that one has to worry about. Yeah. So I think you need to develop that depth aspect as well. But I think the danger in developing depth in just one dimension is that you've lost then the ability to be inspired by questions that are coming from elsewhere. And that could be another discipline, but it could also be society. Yeah, I know, one of your passions has been, sort of the translation of knowledge to applications, to sort of startups and so on. Most of that time, from our academic perspective, we have lots of ideas. And translating that into actually a viable product very often has to deal with what is the question that somebody is asking.
Sure.
What does small, medium industry need? What does the company need? What does society need? And what I keep telling my folks, students and elsewhere, I say, hey, be inspired by the questions that are out there. And it'll follow as the night the day, to quote Shakespeare, that you can apply your knowledge in that particular question.